So yeah, this is very, very important when working out, and I've learned this from experience over time. And if I could go back in time, these are things that I would change when it comes to working out. Okay, so let's talk about it. All right. So, when it comes to working out, I'd much rather you use a lighter weight. I'd much rather you use a lighter weight that you're able to lift safely, right, than to ego lift, but to destroy your health over time. There's a lot of guys that stunt their growth. Yes, you can stunt your growth if you lift too heavy when you're young. There's a lot of guys that injure themselves. There's a lot of guys even that damage their teeth lifting weights. I damaged my teeth lifting weights. I actually lost 2 teeth, okay? So this is very serious stuff. One, because I was too strict with my nutrition, so that damaged my teeth because I didn't get the right minerals. But 2, I would grind my teeth while working out. Because I was lifting so heavy. I'd be like, you never want to do that. Well, you never want to go to that point. That's way too heavy. Okay, you want to keep things safe. The body can grow within safe parameters. Nutritionally, you don't want to be too limited in your nutrition. You want to make sure you're getting the right variety. Otherwise, you can damage your bones over time. You don't want to restrict your calories too much. None of that. Also, physically, you don't want to push too hard when you're working out. That's not good, okay? It's better to lift a weight that you're able to lift than to push too hard. It's always better. It's always better to lift a weight that you're actually able to safely lift. And this is on the heavy side for me. But I'm wise enough to know that. Back in the day, I would have maybe thought this was light, and I would have maybe tried to lift even heavier, and then I may have either, again, grinded my teeth. You know how people go like, when they lift, they're grinding teeth. That's really bad for you. Or I would have just lifted too heavy to where I was grinding my teeth. That was my biggest problem. I never got injured lifting, but I did get injured when I was wrestling. It's never worth it to get injured. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't even do wrestling. I would never do a fighting sport again. Why is that? Because I think that your health is always the most important, and it's just too risky. Yeah, you might win the fight, but you might get knocked out, and a concussion can mess your brain up for life. It's just too damn risky. Is that a cigarette? That's crazy. I wonder how that got there. Anyways, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't know who left that in my basement. But anyways, it's just too risky. It's always safety first. A lot of people, they don't put safety first, and then they get injured, and that's really bad. Whenever you're working out, you always want to put safety first. Never ego lift. Never do it. It's one of the worst things you can do. I'm telling you guys, never do it. Never ego lift. It's one of the worst things you can do. Always stay within safe parameters. Always. Nutritionally as well. You don't want to restrict. You don't want to restrict your calories too much, because you can miss out on key vitamins. You can miss out on key minerals. There's a lot of people that are deficient, and it's not worth it for one day. Not even one day. I don't care how good you think you look because you're cutting. It's okay to cut. See, I'm shredded. I think naturally we're supposed to be shredded, but you never want to starve yourself. That's what I'm saying. It's okay to be shredded. I think that's natural. And I'm underweight right now because I starved myself all throughout growing up. So I'm slowly trying to rebuild the weight. Right now I'm underweight because I starved myself growing up because I was abused growing up. So I had eating disorders. Because you can get eating disorders from being abused, especially around the dinner table. I was forced to eat foods I didn't want to eat. My parents never listened when I said certain foods made me sick. So I had all sorts of eating disorders growing up. And so I didn't grow the way that my body was supposed to grow. And so I'm still recovering from that. And I love my parents. But they were ignorant, unfortunately. You know, I didn't have access to the resources I needed. But my point is, you always want to feed yourself enough food every day. Every day, no matter what. And it doesn't have to be solid meals. Some days I do mostly liquids. The body is mostly water. You know, food, people don't realize most of our hydration is supposed to come from our food. That's why fruits and juicing is such a good form of food. Fruit juice. Get a juicer and juice anything at home. Apples, cantaloupes, honeydew, watermelon. Juicing is amazing for the muscle because, again, the muscle is mostly water. And you can juice so many different things. Kale, apples, you can even juice cannabis, you can juice anything at home. Grapes, you can buy juice from the store as well, but you can also get a juicer and do it at home if you want to kick it up a level. The other things that are good for hydration is coconut water. I got some pineapple juice in the fridge that I'll probably grab. You know, I'll grab that right now, actually, if I can find it. Go grab that real quick. That's fire. This is just pineapple juice. You know what they say about pineapple juice? I don't know if you guys have heard the saying. Yeah, when it comes to working out, it's always safety first. You never want to ego lift. And also, you don't want to spend your whole life in the gym either. You know, go out, talk to girls, go on dates, go to the bar, go to the club. You don't want to be a gym cell either. You don't want to go work. Make sure you're working enough. There's some people that are unemployed and they spend all day in the gym. It's like you need money to pay for nutrition. The more money you make, the easier it is to eat better, higher quality organic food. I'm not saying you have to do everything perfect. Like, for example, this boxed pineapple juice might not be as healthy if I juiced it fresh and I was picking pineapples off the vine in Costa Rica. But I'm not in Costa Rica. There isn't fresh pineapples growing around here. And I could buy pineapples from the store and juice them, But then it might not even be as good as this, because this might be picked fresher before they juice it. I don't, because this is a Spanish company, so this might be picked in the tropics where pineapples actually grow. So there's pros and cons to everything. You don't have to be perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. There really isn't. But if you at least try your best, you might be able to live forever. I genuinely believe that. I think we could live a lot longer than we do, but people are dying so early because people are just not taking care of themselves at all. And that's why I genuinely believe you could live forever if you take care of your health. I really do believe that. And I haven't done a good enough job at taking care of my health over the years, but I'm trying to get back into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take it more seriously. And a big part of it is relationships. How you treat other people. Are you forgiving? Are you compassionate? Because I've made mistakes where I've hurt people, and I always regret it every time I hurt people. And sometimes you don't mean to, you know? And you gotta forgive yourself for those moments. You gotta learn from it, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta grow from it. And that's a big part of fitness as well, is actually, this is really deep. Most people don't understand this, but we're getting further into the video, so I can start to get deep and open up with you guys. A huge part of fitness is how you treat other people. Because when you hurt other people, and I've done it before, we've all done it. Sometimes we don't mean to, but we make mistakes. When you hurt other people, it can affect your fitness because it can spike your cortisol because you're stressed. You're stressed about your relationship with your girl, with your mom, with your dad, with your sister. So you got to do the best to forgive people no matter what. And trust me, it's hard sometimes. My own sister threatened to murder me when I was 6. And she meant it too. I could see it in her eyes. I'm not going to talk about why, because there's no valid reason to want to murder your brother. But, you know, you can just say there was probably jealousy involved, obviously. Jealousy involved. Is that how you say it, jealousy? That's an interesting sounding word, but anyways. And I tried attacking her, but guess what? It only made me look bad in the process, you know? But sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself, too. I'm not gonna lie. There were some things that had to be said to some people. But there was times where I did go overboard with it. So that's the thing, is it's about balance. It really is about balance. Because you don't want to be a pushover either. That can also fuck your head up if you're a pushover and you just let people walk all over you. Being overly mean can affect your mental health, but being overly nice can too. You gotta find that balance. But if you gotta cherish people in your life, a lot of people let people go too easily. They really do. And it's sad. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. This pineapple juice is so fucking good. Honestly, I don't want to keep the video going for too long, but moral of the video is this. when it comes to working out, don't ego lift, safety first. And when it comes to human beings in your life, don't use your ego, love first. That's the message of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. Until next one, I'm out. Love and peace.